Okay, can everyone hear me? Is anyone in the chat? Okay, so what I'm going to do today, let's see. This is the first time I've tried to do this with the screen capture, so I'm going to have to use this third-party software in order to do that through Ustream. So that's why you see this little Manicam logo thing. I wish I could take that off, but I'm going to have to deal with that. So hopefully it won't get in the way too much. Okay, so this is basically a miscrit that I started back when I was working with Broken Bulb a while back, and I had never finished him. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to go ahead and have you guys watch me complete this, what I'm calling a lost miscrit. He's pretty far along already. That right now all I'm showing you is the sketches, which I scan the sketches into a program called Adobe Illustrator. And then I've already done like the line work and colored. I finished this first evolution, and I'll show you in a minute here. Let me let me show you. Here's the. Oh, it's kind of a little bit of lag. This is the second evolution, and I've kind of got it so it'll zoom it into where my cursor is because last time I had some problems. People were watching me on like their phones or their iPads or tablets. And since I had the full screen, it was difficult for them to see. So hopefully this won't get too annoying. I'm going to go over here real quick. I'll show you this sketch here. Hold on. I've got this on my laptop, so I'm kind of watching what you guys are seeing. So this is going to be the third evolution, just the sketch. And down to, let's see, we've got the final guy right here. And after I'm further along, what I'll probably do is I'll probably pull out and give you a full screen image of all this stuff because right now it's kind of hard to tell, but at least this way you'll kind of be able to see the detail. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you what I've got so far on this guy. Um, Hold on a second. Let me zoom over here. So hold on. So like I said, he's pretty much, the first evolution is pretty much done. You can see right here this flag right here that's fire. That's not totally completed yet. And I'll show you kind of what I do here. Just a minute. Wow, this thing's got some lag to it. Okay, these are like my little color palettes I use. Um, and there's also like a swatch bar and everything, but for now that's what I'm using. So let me show you this guy. You can see here. Hold on in a minute. Okay, so he's pretty much flat colored, which means he's got some color to him, but it's all flat. There's no shading or anything. So I'm going to start by shading in this guy. And it's been a while since I've done one of these, so I don't know. I don't remember how long it's going to take me. I don't know if I'll get to every evolution tonight, um, but I'll give it a shot and see how far along we can go. And my video just cut out on me. Okay, so let me see what I'm going to do. Bear with me for a minute here. I'll start here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You know what? Hold on a second. I'm going to bring up my little swatches up here. I haven't decided on any names yet, but if you guys want to go ahead and submit names here on my website or whatever, I'll send all those along when I submit this full thing to Caitlin over at Broken Bulb. So I'll probably start with the head since that's probably the most interesting thing. And I use a feature called Draw Inside, which allows me to basically, like it says, draw inside of this shape here. Hold on, let me zoom in. And that way anything I draw outside of it will stay contained in this shape. So tool. And I'm going to get my pencil tool. And I'm just going to start drawing right in here. You can kind of see the outline. You can see how that fills in there. Alright, I'm just putting in some of these shadows here, the dark areas, so there'll be a little shadow under his eye. There's chin a little bit. It's kind of a tedious process, so you guys might get bored, but you don't have to stick with me through the whole thing unless you're really interested. This isn't quite as fun as watching me, draw a complete, start to finish um, illustration, but now I'm going to do some highlights here. You can use a little highlight over here too. So right now what I'm doing, I'm just kind of switching back and forth between my pen tool and my eyedropper tool, and I'll just select, since I already have this color selected, I just go and pick that up when I drop in my colors there. Um, so I think he needs, let's see, a darker line there, and then maybe, okay, so far you can kind of see what I'm doing here with the head. So now he's got a little more of a third dimension to him, makes it pop out a little more. So I think I'm done with that part. I'm going to move up to the armor here. Again, I'm going to go ahead and select my draw on side, select my pencil tool, and let me see what I did on this other guy. I think this color here, I'm going to pick that up right there. Oh, I see. So this is actually a darker orange, but it's got a transparency on it, which will make it a little lighter and make it blend in more with this color in the background. I'm just kind of trying to refamiliarize myself with this drawing because I haven't worked on it in so long. It's been, geez, there goes my dog. Hold on a second. I'm going to go make sure he stops barking. What? All right, sorry about that. He would have just kept barking if I didn't stop him. So. All right, Where were we? All right, here we go. Okay. Now I got to find out what the highlight color is, so I'm going to go back to this guy again. And I'm going to pick up this highlight color. That way I can make sure everything's working together. Add another highlight. Let me see. I don't know if that's any different or not. Yeah. Okay. So there's the top of his helmet. Click out of that. I'm going to color this back part. This is going to be real repetitive as I move from, I'm basically doing the same techniques as I move from one little shape to the next. Yeah, I'm working in the Adobe Illustrator right now. And I'm trying to remember, I think there's like a free version. It's not made by Adobe, but a similar type of vector drawing program. I guess you'd have to Google that. I don't remember what it's called, but because this software can get kind of pricey. And now they're switching to subscription only. Adobe is a subscription only service, like a cloud service where you have to pay a subscription every month to use it. And I'm not too happy about that because I don't upgrade every time a new version comes on because you really don't need to. And unless if you're someone who upgrades every time there's a new version, then it might be a good deal for you. But for us independent guys, it's not too happy about that. Okay, let's do this. Oh, Inkscape. That's right. That's what it's called. I remember now. Do you guys use that program? Oh, evidently there's more than one program you can use. A while back on my site, I posted this. This my friend Chris Clark, who works with me. He's another artist that I work with. And he's worked on Miscrits and stuff too. But he posted something on this program called Mischief, and it looks really cool. I believe the URL is madewithmischief.com or something like that. But it's on my Facebook page if you want to check that out, and you can find that at just Facebook/Circworks. But it looks really cool, and it's really not too expensive compared to some of these other programs. And I think you get like unlimited licenses for it. Getting there. I think I'll just concentrate on all his body armor for right now, since I'm clicking. Yeah, I might have to look at. I might have to, if it gets too if Adobe gets too expensive, I might have to look into some of those other programs. The problem is I know how to use this one, so I don't want to relearn a whole nother program. Oops, I don't want to do that. Okay. Usually I can get this process to go a little quicker. I'm still not quite used to people watching me when I'm working, but it's something I want to get used to because it's something I like doing. So let's see. So I used to use the pen tool to do all this, um, but then I started using the pencil tool. And as long as you have a pretty good handle and are able to control it, it seems to work a little faster for me. Let's go to ah, let's go to this piece here. Let's see. Oh, all right. That's all the upper armor. Then I'm going to move. Let's see. Let's move this guy. I'll start doing this right here. you look right here, you can see that's the outline, but as soon as I select this, it'll highlight it. Okay. Need some shading under here. Now my dogs start. I put my dog in the laundry room. Now he's starting to scratch at the door. So if he continues to do that, I might have to let him out, and hopefully he won't keep barking. All right. He's got. You can see this little line here. All basically, I do two different layers when I'm doing my outlines. One is every outline has a color filled inside of it, and then any outline that's open, meaning it's not a closed path, I put on a separate layer, because what'll happen when you start to draw, if that layer isn't closed and locked, you'll actually connect to this line, and it'll connect to whatever you're drawing. So right now you see this line coming over. What I'm going to do later after I'm done is I'm going to just delete the top of this line, so it doesn't, because this part's part of the body, and right now it's covering the armor, which we don't want. But that's on another layer right now, and it's locked, so I'm not going to worry about it. And what I'm going to do right now is save my work, which I haven't done yet, which that should be the first thing. Oh, it's taking a while. Wow. I wouldn't think it would take that long. Okay. Yeah, always save your work. That's the most important rule of working on anything in the computer. That just reminded me that I don't know if you guys have seen Zoolander or not. Where they go, the files are in the computer, and they try to break the computer to get the files out. Oh, all right. Getting close to having most of the armor done. He's got some more armor on the feet here. This part here is pretty much all underneath his body, so it's going to be all in shadow. And actually here, I'm going to just, oh, that didn't work the way I thought it would be. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to redo that. Okay, let's move down to his feet. So as you can see, he's kind of, part of his body is made up of his, is it ecto or endoskeleton? Whatever, I guess it's ectoskeleton, I think. Anyway, um, but some of his body just made out of fire. So like his feet and legs right here, they're just kind of floating, so that his armor just kind of would float around the flames. So that's why you don't see any actual part of his body here, which I don't know why you would need armor to protect a body that's essentially made out of flames, but it looks cool. And a lot of times you just do stuff because it looks cool. And I've never had anyone say, this Miscrit, it doesn't make sense why you would have armor when there's nothing to protect it. Of course, I'm not always on the forum, so maybe that kind of stuff does happen. I know fans can get pretty vocal about stuff they love. I'm gonna move up and find highlight. Poltergust, yeah, he's kind of one of those. But I remember when Chris Mendoza was drawing that guy, and he looked real cool. Like I said, sometimes you just do stuff because it looks cool. But this guy's kind of this. I guess he's kind of the same type of thing as Poltergust, but with fire instead of wind. All right, you guys are gonna have to excuse me just for a minute. I'll make it quick. I gotta let my dog out of the laundry room again because he's scratching at the door. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. All right, let's move on to this here. Oh, what happened? Yeah, the dog again. And I apologize if this is kind of a little boring for you guys. Like I said, this is just me coloring, and I'm kind of inviting you guys to kind of check it out while I do it. And if you get bored, I don't blame you if you want to log out. In the future, I'm going to do more things that are kind of, start to finish sketches from, pencils to inks to final colors, and it'll be a little more exciting. But I thought since Caitlin was nice enough to help me promote this on the Miscrits forum that I'd finish up this Miscrit and give it to Broken Bulb, and they've put it in the game, and you guys can battle with it. All right, so I got most of his kind of orange armor done. So let me move back to the red armor. I gotta go and do each one of these fingers, which I wish there was like maybe there is, I wish there was like a quick way to do this draw inside selection. That's the most time consuming part, is having to do that. I don't know that there's a shortcut for that or not. And this isn't really so much a tutorial as me just drawing you guys kind of being flies on the wall. But any technique that I use, I mean, there's many different ways to achieve the same thing in Illustrator. So, and some people have other ways that they prefer. This is just how I do it. I missed something here. I clicked the wrong color. That's why you can't see it right here. So I'm going to go and fix that real quick. Let's see. I get all these little finger armor done. Right. And he's got four. Oh, I forgot. He's got four arms. So I'm basically gonna do this again. Now, what I could do if I wanted to, if you see this, let me see, right in the middle here. I could just let me hold on a second. Let me zoom out so you can see a little better. Yeah, I'll zoom out. We'll wait for it to catch up. I don't know if everyone's catching up on the same speed that I'm watching it, because I'm watching it on my laptop here. So basically, he's got two arms on each side. So if I wanted to take a shortcut, I could just duplicate these and move them down here. But I don't. I think I'm gonna go ahead and recolor them, because actually there would be a little difference in the way the light probably hits them, just because this one is above this arm here, so there might be some shadows here. So, but that is something you could do if you're like in a crunch for time, or so. Like I said, right here, since there'll be a little shadow on top where this other one is kind of covering it and blocking out some of the light, so it'll create a shadow there. not going to be exactly the same as the other one. Yes, this is the lost fire ant miscrit. Right now I'm working on the second evolution, and if you guys are late joining, if you guys have names, any ideas for names, what to name these, just go ahead and submit them, and I'll forward those along with the Miscrit file when I'm finished to Caitlin over at Broken Bulb, and she'll be able to, because usually she's the one that gives them all the names. So, but I'm sure she's more than willing to take suggestions, and I saw some really good ones so far. So. So have you guys seen any good movies lately? Ah, that's not what I want to do. Ah, guys are getting advertisements. I haven't got one yet on my laptop because I'm watching the same feed you guys are watching on my laptop. That way I can watch the chat because right now I only have the one monitor, so otherwise I'd have chat open on the same screen as the Miscrit I'm drawing, and get pretty busy because I got to also have all my tools and everything. Yeah, something having to do with like Caesar would be good for a name for this guy. Happy when I finish all these fingers so I can move on to something else. Gets kind of tedious. So you're basically doing the same color when you're coloring like this. You're basically doing the same actions over and over again. It's not like penciling where everything's pretty. When you're sketching things out, it's all pretty. Everything's different. Here we go. for this guy. See, select that. I guess it's. Oh, I don't know if that's a little bright for being under. Let's see. Let me click out of that. Let me select that. I'm going to bring the opacity down on that. And I think that's too bright since it's kind of under all that armor. And then I'm trying to remember what this part of the body is called, where it's like the stinger. Is that the thorax? I don't know. If my sons were here, they could tell. They know everything there is about animals and insects and things like that. But anyway, this is. All right. So most of the. Oh, I messed up. I'm going to redo that. Sometimes when you're drawing with the pencils, even though if it's freehand, you kind of mess up a little on your shapes. There's still going to be another shadow up here. Maybe a tiny highlight. Just that darker. Then we're going to have to get a darker shadow right under here. Let's move back up here. He's getting there. Let me zoom out real quick. I'll just show you where I'm at right now. Since I've been working up close for a while, you haven't really seen him. Oh wait, I gotta put my cursor there. Sorry, I forget you're only seeing where my cursor is. So that's. I still gotta finish some stuff down here and over here. Anyway, all right. So let me zoom back in, get back to work on his other arms on the other side of him. So of course, sunlight's going to be coming down from above, and pretty much all the Miscrits have the same kind of light source. It kind of comes from the left and hits down. That's just kind of how we've established it. And even though, like, depending on if you're battling or you're battling somebody else, the Miscrits will flip, and the light source is kind of off that way. But that's just something they do in a lot of games. So the light source doesn't always match up because it's rather than having to redraw the whole character again from another perspective, we usually just reverse the image. So that becomes a problem sometimes when you have like letters and things. That's why you don't see certain things. Like if I had a Miscrit, I think it was Akamotive, and he has I think a number 7 on his chest. So when he's flipped, it's still got the 7. And in retrospect, I should have probably, or in hindsight, I should have probably used like a 0 or an 8. That way, if you flip them, it looks like the same number. But those are just like it's kind of like when you're watching a movie and you see little mistakes and things. You're gonna see that with artwork. That's weird. Okay. Now these fingers must be on another level because I can't select them. So I gotta fix that real quick. Yep. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select, oh, I guess it's just this one finger. So somehow that finger got on the wrong layer, so I'm just gonna drop it down to this layer. Okay. Now back to where we were. Sorry for the delay. If I was doing this in Photoshop, it'd probably be a lot easier to color. It's a lot faster coloring in Photoshop, but the benefit to doing these in a vector program like Illustrator is that you can rescale them as big as you want. Like, because sometimes we'll do big giant promotions with featuring the Miscrits and things like that, and you want a higher resolution. So, just try to do these real quick if I can. Oh. First I have to unselect the one that was selected and then select the new one. That always happens. I try to reselect another shape when the one I have is already selected and it's not going to let me. I'm guessing right now, considering the time and everything, that I'll probably try to get as close as I can to finishing this one evolution, and I'll just finish the rest later. Because they're all going to be, and I'll show you the other ones so you can kind of see them, and then I'll post them. But again, it's the same thing over and over, kind of doing the same thing. So I'm sure it's going to get boring, and I don't want to have like 3 hour, a 3 hour stream of me just continuing to just drop colors into these guys. Ah, come on. All right. 3 arms down, one to go. After I finish with these fingers, I'll kind of zoom back out and I'll show you all the evolutions. And I know you guys are trying to come up with names for them, so it might help if you kind of see what they look like a little more. Let me finish these these fingers first, and then we'll do that. Oh, it's not the color I wanted. What I probably should have done with this one is just drew them and then recorded it and sped it up so you guys can see it go real fast. That probably would have been a little more entertaining. Wonder if I can still do this after I've recorded it. Okay. Almost. Let me finish this real quick, and then we'll zoom out and I'll show you guys what the rest of the evolutions look like so far. All right. Here, I'll zoom out. Uh, Here. So let me start over here. Hold on. I don't know how long it'll take to catch up. Okay. So here's the first guy. So we'll need a decent name for him. They're all kind of similar. They just get a little more badass as they go. Here's the second one, the one I'm working on now. I gotta scroll down a little bit. Okay. Then we got this guy. Hold on. So they kind of have more armor as they go. And then this guy here. Hold on. So this guy's got a cape. He's got a kind of a Trojan helmet that has, instead of the little, I don't know what that stuff is on the top of a Trojan helmet. I don't know if it's horsehair or something like that, but it's fire. So those are kind of the different evolutions. So they're all kind of similar. He just gets bigger and badder as he goes along. So, oh yeah, so sorry, I should have previewed that stuff for you guys a little earlier. All right, let me go back to this guy. We'll see what we have to do to finish him up. Ah, boy. Okay, he's getting there. So I think I'll finish him up, and I'm gonna call it a night after that. I might continue to do the other ones, but I probably won't broadcast it. But I'll show you what I'll post kind of what they look like on my page. All right, so let's get back here again. Back to the feet. On this foot. So now we got to do his staff. And the staff, you can look. I kind of designed it to look. I kind of wanted his armor to kind of resemble what an ant's um, is it? I don't know if it's endo or exoskeleton, but endoskeleton looks like. Um, it's a different color, but it's kind of his body kind of has this spiral thing. If you look at his abdomen or his thorax, or again, I'm not, I I don't know all the terms, but um, or the biology of insects. But anyway, so I just wanted to kind of follow that same kind of uh, look, kind of organic look. So we're going to shade in this. Now for the highlight. That's the top of the staff. This one I'm going to do a little differently. Since this is real long and thin, it's difficult for me to draw this like a straight line with my pencil tool. So in this case, I'm going to use the brush tool instead, or the pen tool. Sorry. Select that. Oh, it's already selected. Okay. And you'll see this is going to be real bright, but that's not the color I'm going to want it, so I'm going to change that right here. Now I'm going to do a bright highlight on this side. That's his staff. What else we got to do? Okay, got to do the eyes. No, wait, let me do his antennas first. There's not a whole lot of coloring in there, but let me zoom in a little bit. Just a little bit of color change in there, so it doesn't look so flat. Okay, now I gotta do his eyes. And since it's been a while since I've done Miscrit, I'm gonna kind of look at this other one. Okay. Yeah. Let's select this. There. Add a little highlight here. And then do the iris. Or that's the iris. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do the pupil. Oh, it looks like a pupil is. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Alright, so I'm going to drop and get my ellipse tool, which will allow me to make circles. Let me go ahead and drop a highlight in there. Ooh, that's weird. Oh, I know what it is. That's on another layer. Okay, hold on. Let's just bring this up. There we go. And then I'm going to add another highlight. And I'm going to bring the transparency or the opacity down a little bit, so it's not quite as bright as the other highlight. I'm going to do the same thing over there. Alright. Okay, so what's left? We got some fire effects. Let me see what I'm going to go ahead and I got to make sure I lock that one layer back up so I don't mess something up. I'm going to just borrow this fire from this other Miscrit I created. And I'm going to use that just as a palette. I'm just going to steal the colors right from there, so I know it all looks the same. So let's start. I'll go in here, kind of make some flame shapes. And like I said, I'm going to try to borrow that color right from there. I'm going to borrow this bright yellow. Some more flames here. That bright yellow. And it's got a little bit of almost, it looks like almost a white here. A little bit. Take that. And I'm going to select this, and I'm going to bring the transparency down so it's a little more transparent so you can see through it. Which the rest of these I'll probably wait till I'm done with all of them, but I figure I should do that one for now. Ooh, this is one big piece. Okay. I thought it was a bunch of little areas, but it's one big shape. All this, I don't know if you can see that, but basically all the, let me zoom out real quick. Hold on. That's probably as far as, let me zoom out a little more. So all this right here, that's like one big shape. You can see where the box is around it. So, which kind of makes it easier. That way I don't have to keep selecting and unselecting more shapes. All right. I can't really see that right now, but I just added some flame shapes. I'll go ahead and make that yellow. Get that white color. Do some more yellow here. Some white in here. Oh wait. Ah, I didn't want to deselect that yet, so let me reselect it. I forgot up here there's still more. That's the problem with some of these big shapes, you tend to miss things. Yeah, I don't know if you're asking me if you get the Miscrit free if you name it. That I don't know. I mean I'm right now I'm just doing this as a freelance project for Broken Bulb. I don't actually like work there anymore, so I don't really know the rules. take the transparency down a bit. And we're getting there. We're almost done with this guy, with this evolution. I think it looks like, well, there's a few more shapes here, a few more fire effects I got to do. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Undo. I wish they had an undo in real life. I'm going to go back here and play with the transparencies here too. They were a little too bright for my taste, or too opaque, I should say. Okay. Looks like two more shapes, and then we'll wrap up this guy. This is the last, I think this is the last shape. All right. Let me zoom out here and see. I'm going to get rid of all this extra stuff around him. Move some of this stuff up. Let's see. Okay. So there he is. Unfortunately, the video quality is not that great. Oh, we got to get rid of this little line here. So, here. Let me zoom in here. There's probably some other little tweaking. Once I'm done with all of them, I'll go back over all the different evolutions. I'll go back over and just check and see if there's anything that I need to change. So hold on. Let me select this. My scissor tool. Oh, I cut the wrong line. Try that again. All right, got rid of that. Thanks, I appreciate you advertising. Yeah, if the more followers I get, the better. So if anyone wants to join my Facebook page, I'd more than appreciate it. And but that's a good way to let people know when I'm going to be doing these live broadcasts. I'm going to do some more. The next one I do, I don't know if it'll be Miscrit centric. Actually, I'll kind of I'll kind of give you a preview of what I'm kind of planning for next week, and you guys might be able to help me out with that. Um, but like, yeah, I got a bunch of new followers from Caitlin's post on the Miscrit forums. So yeah, and if I get, I think I'm around 400 now. If I get 50 more, I'll do another drawing for another free sketch. Um, so that's something to shoot for. So anyway, so let me scroll back over here. I'll show you this again. So I'm going to start on this guy, but I'm probably going to cut off the stream. So, but I will post him and the final evolution on my website, so you guys can see what he looks like. But let me zoom over here one more time, and that's the final one, unfinished, of course. So, okay, here, let's see. What do I have to do here? Oh yeah, let me save my file. I should have saved more. I got so caught up in it and everything. It's hard watching the chat and drawing and doing all that stuff at once. Anyway, so I'm going to close out Illustrator real quick. So you're going to probably see some funky stuff with my desktop. I am going to switch my camera here. Oh wait, no. Down here. Hold on. Cameras. You should, pretty soon you'll see. Okay, there we go. All right. So let me see. Let me show you some. I don't know if you caught any of the earlier live streams that I was doing, but I've been doing these sketch cards. And I apologize for that light. Let me see if I can block some of it. These are all like monster, classic monster cards. They got zombies. That's Mr. Hyde, Wolfman, Phantom of the Opera. Anyway, so I'm going to do a bunch of these sketch cards, and then I also do these. Hold on. Just black and white. They're kind of full body. Here's like RoboCop, Jack Sparrow. That's a Shogun Warrior, Predator, Voldemort. So what I want you guys, and you can do this now if you want, if you got any characters that you'd like to see me sketch, let me know. And then the next time I do a live stream, I'll pick, maybe 2, 3, 4, depending on how many I can draw in, say, an hour, hour and a half. And so I will pick those. But basically, either pick a character that would look good as just the head, because I'll do it like a head shot like that in color, or or a full body like one of these characters. So somebody from pop culture, if it's from a movie you like or whatever. But anyone you'd like to see me do a sketch of, let me know, and then I'll pick some of them, and I'll keep the other ones in a file or something, and then I'll probably do a few of these where I just do sketches, kind of like a request. You request a sketch, and I'll draw it on camera and everything. And I mean, hopefully you enjoyed this live stream. Again, it was a little more just coloring, and it's the same thing over and over again. But I don't want to keep doing that type of thing. I'm sure some of you guys liked it just because you like Miscrits. And they can be Miscrits too. If there's a Miscrit you want me to draw, yeah, Super Bubbles, I could do that. I don't want to just do Miscrit, so I might pick one Miscrit and then some other things. But I want to keep a variety. So if everyone just submits Miscrits, then I'll probably have to come up with some of my own. But I can do Miscrits too. But anyway, so that's probably that's something that I'm going to do next time around. So hopefully you guys will follow me on Facebook. Like I said, it's Facebook/Serkworks, SERKWORKS, with the website serkworks.com, and on Instagram Serkworks, Twitter Serkworks, all that stuff. So if it's if it's a social network and if I'm on it, I'll be at Serkworks. So anyway, so thank you guys for sticking around, and I'm trying to do at least one of these a week. I can't really make a specific time, so follow me on the Facebook, and I'll let you know when that's going to be, and I'll try to let you guys know like at least 3 or 4 days in advance when I'm going to do the next live stream. So thanks again for following me, and hopefully I'll see you next week, and I'll post whatever finished Miscrits on my website so you can see them, and then hopefully pretty soon you'll be able to get them in the game. All right? Well, take it easy, everyone. Thanks.